Bonjour, everyone. Hi, this is Neshi Lilkatz. Welcome to my weekly live stream show, Communications from Home. And it's Tuesday, April 20th. Can you believe that? I can. It was a very busy day today around here. Yeah, there we go. Get the logo stuff up. All right, so tonight is all about our spiritual teams. Yeah. We've done lots of shows about, our spirit helpers and that sort of thing. But this show tonight is got a little bit of a twist to it. Because I started a recalibration journey, that's what I started calling it. Interacting with my spiritual team has been slightly different than it has been in the past. And I thought it would be a good conversation to have, share the experience, and see if you guys have noticed a shift in your communication with your spiritual teams. And so, yeah. And while I remember, I am going to check on my phone, make sure we're actually live streaming. And yep, looks like we are. Yay. It's always good, right? And while I'm here, I am going to share it over to my newsfeed. And we're just going to do that. There we go. And if you wouldn't mind, if you would like to send it over to your own live stream, your feed, or to a friend to join us, because, we all have spiritual teams, every single one of us. And so this conversation tonight, I think, is going to be kind of an interesting and one that we can share with other people, even though they may not believe in your kind of spirituality beliefs. This is one common thread that we have with everybody, because somebody also believes they have a guardian angel, right? Even though they may not believe they have power animals on their team. And so why don't we get started, all right? Because one thing I noticed with our partners at Be Live, changing things up a bit, and it's been a while since I have produced my own show. Thank you to Rob in the house. He was producing my show for me for quite a while. And so one of the things that I noticed is that they actually end your show after an hour or whenever you say you're going to end your show. In the old days, they just let us keep going for like 2 hours if we wanted to. So let's see who's all in the house. Speaking of Rob, there he is. There's the guy. Hola, ¿cómo estás? ¿Cómo estás? Lisa's in the house too. Hello, Lisa. Good to have you here. And Margaret's here too. Oh my gosh, Margaret, thank you for being in the house this evening. Jackie, of course. Jackie, it's so good to have you back. It's always fun to have you in the house. Deanna's here too. Good evening to you too, lady. Always nice to have you in the house. Delightful. Exactly. And look who is here. Hi, Karen. Good to have you here, lady. Yeah, the gang's in the house. Yo estoy muy cansado. All right. Yo bien good. Bien. Yeah. One of my dad was a fluent Spanish speaker. He actually, I wouldn't say he spoke Spanish. He spoke Spanish with a tribal dialect. And so sometimes the words didn't translate to Spaniard Spanish. Okay. But he was fluent. And a lot of times I'd walk into my parents' house, and tell them, hola, ¿cómo estás, padre? ¿Qué pasó? ¿Qué pasó? That means what's happening. And he'd always say, paso nada, paso nada. I kind of miss that. He was such a card. He really was. Look who else is here. Julie's here too. Howdy, Julie. Good to have you in the house. Que rico, guapa. Exactly. We're going to be bilingual here. And I've been off and on studying my own language with Potawatomi. I don't speak Potawatomi fluently. I know some phrases, some words. I can kind of count to 10. But I've been working on it. Okay, so tonight's all about our spiritual teams. And the question that I asked in the promotion was that, do you ask for help? Do you ask your spiritual team for help? There's one of the things that I've heard so often in the years that I've been teaching and helping others. I think, what am I going on? 30 years now, 25, something like that. There's two things. Is one, that people forget to ask their team for help. They forget. So they're in a crisis, or they're in a quandary, and they think they have to go it all alone, and we don't. But for some reason, maybe it's because we're human, we tend to forget to ask our spiritual team for help. And the second one, is that there's some people would believe that they don't have a spiritual team. I don't have one. How do you get one? And we have one. Everybody does. From the time we enter our physical body as a spirit called a baby, we have a spiritual team that are assigned to us to help us through our earth walk, our experiences here. So, that's a good question to ask the people in the live chat. Do you ask your spiritual team for help on a regular basis? Because I think that's the key, on a regular basis. And I should probably pause just a little bit and kind of go back about half a step. Is, what is a spiritual team? For those people who might be just joining us and they don't really know, a spiritual team, that's what I call them. Some people call them their spiritual family. Some people call them, just their team. And so, who comprises your team? Angels, your guardian angel for one, and a whole bunch of other angels, a multitude of angels. Who else is on your team? Teachers that are in spirit, like ascended masters. Okay. And you also have your spiritual team is your power animals, your totems. You also have, got my list here so I didn't forget anybody. Your guardians, your guides, nature spirits, star beings, and your ancestors. And that's just a short list. Okay, there could be lots more, but I have to tell you is that we have more than just a few spirits on our spiritual team. Just a few. Grandmother Earth is on our spiritual team. The Creator, God, Goddess, the Great Mystery is on our spiritual team. Our higher self, our soul, is on our spiritual team. So we have a whole lot of help in spirit that comes through to give us a hand. They're the ones that send us the synchronicities, right? They're the ones that help us with that muse, right? That a thought comes in and you think, oh, that would be a really good idea. Yeah, those kinds of things. And a lot of times we just kind of ignore them, maybe because we don't believe that they're there. We forget that they're there. And there's one that I'm sure that almost every one of us here has done, is you ignore them. I don't want to see that. Or I don't want to hear that, right? It depends on how you bring in spiritual information. So many times they'll try multiple times to get our attention. So you might see those little things that mean something to you. A good friend of mine, my best friend from third grade all the way to today, she sees dimes on the ground. Dimes. Other friends, they see cardinals, and they know that either one of their parents or grandparent is near. Some people, they have things falling off their refrigerator. Somebody I know quite near and dear had her mother's picture that she's had up on her refrigerator, magnet on the refrigerator, fell off the refrigerator 3 times. And she didn't know. I thought, oh, what's going on? Mom's on the floor again, And the next thing that was on the floor wasn't the picture, but it was something that had a hello, the word hello on it, was another magnet that fell off the refrigerator. And so, they really try to get our attention, even though we're trying to ignore them, and they keep doing it. right? So when we are in crisis, when we are in those quandaries, we just can't make a decision how to move forward, right? A lot of times we forget they're there, and they're there all the time. They're here right now with all of us listening to this conversation. And when I was getting prepared for the show, I was talking to my team and I said, okay, team, you know, I would like everybody, my whole team here with me tonight. A lot of times I'll ask for specific ones that I know that help me with teaching, public speaking, those kinds of things, right? Depending on what the topic is, whether it's feng shui or drum making or whatever it is, I call forward those specific um, helpers to step forward to come closer, right? And tonight I called everybody in and said, to please help me to deliver the information that's most needed for those that will be listening or watching. And yeah, and so we all have them. In fact, it's a full house tonight, right? And so let's see. I'm going to get caught up with everybody in the house. And I wanted to thank everybody for being here. My goodness. Here we go. Julie Shumway Hill's in the house. Hello, Julie. Good to have you here. Jocelyn's here too. Hello, Jocelyn. And my good friend Rochelle Lottie's here. She says, hello, Neshi, Deb and I are here. Had a hard getting to you. Really? Oh my gosh. We'll have to fix that. Thank you both, ladies, for being here. Karen says, I was just talking about my team today. I'm being a little lazy lately and asking them to explain the daily display of multiple series and matching numbers I'm always seeing. It means something. Definitely need to check in. Right. Exactly. And, sometimes I know it's like, oh, there's that triple number. I know what that one means. And other times there's sequences of triple numbers that I see. And so it's like, I don't understand. Could you please explain this one to me? And I'll get quiet. I'll sit. Sometimes it's with a cup of tea or a cup of coffee, and I'm just sitting there talking with them and listening. Other times I'm actually in meditation, and I'll ask them that question. And while we're in the stillness and the quiet, and I listen, right? Yeah. But sometimes it's just on the fly. I'm always talking to them. Margaret says, do we have to call on them individually, or couldn't we just say my A team after I qualify who that is one time? Right. Yep. And and here's the thing. I know that, and this comes with our humanness, I think, is that we feel like we need to know them by name, and we have to know what they look like. And, we give them all this human detail. And many times we don't need that. We don't, sometimes we do. And it's great if they want to connect with you in that way. But it's not necessary. What's necessary is to know when you are going through a certain something that you get help. And you can even ask, is this my angel with this, or is this my guide for that? And you can feel the yes or the no, right? And you're right, Margaret. You don't need to know and name them every single time. That's why I said, my entire team, or those on my spiritual team that assist me with public speaking. Please step forward, come close, right? And I do know that there's one that helps me when I have something really difficult, a challenge to deliver. Either it's emotional, or it's a message that is pretty blunt, right? And so I ask her to come forward to help me deliver that message in the best way possible for the highest good of all. And of course, that she is the one who helps me with that. And so, yeah, sometimes it is specific, but you don't necessarily have to know. Julie is saying, one of my special greetings is to seeing Grandmother Spider's helpers on Earth. Spider shows up when I'm working on boundaries, either as heads up or at a girl about boundaries. Yes. And for me, Julie, it is really like a conversation that we would have with a really good friend, right? Somebody that you would say, I got to share that with them. and you want to call them up or have a conversation with them. It's something like that for me. And so even when I go into meditation, and I get prepared for meditation and I do my, getting into that loving vibration. Um, and then I'll call to my team and invite them in to sit with me and communicate with me as I sit quietly and I'm listening to them. Right. And so I'm acknowledging their presence. And I talk to them throughout the day. It's like today, oh my gosh, you guys, today. All right. I am back to having somewhat regular office hours so that I can sit down. I was trying to do like an hour and a half at a time, hopefully not more than 2 hours at a time, because that fatigue factor is still there. And today was my first day, almost the full day in here on the computer, and I was trying to start a new account for something for our live streams. And it was one of those, I don't get it. This, what am I supposed to? And it was frustrating. And so I just called my team and I said, I'm having problems focusing, you guys, and I need to finish this. I can't just let it go and start over. Once you start, you have to finish. And so I actually called on them and was talking to them. Okay, I have to do this. What's next? Where do I find that? And so, and how were they communicating to me? It was just thoughts coming through. Oh, wait, I saw that 2 pages back or on that next tab, But once I called them in, my anxiety level went down. Didn't mean I wasn't tired when I was done, but it was really helpful. Yeah. So Julie's also saying, calling the team. Yay. Yay, you guys. Exactly. Lisa says, seeing repeating numbers as well. Yes. And, we can look them up, and that's good to do. But sometimes they're so individual to you that they have a certain spin to them, It's like mine is 333. Whenever I see 333 this past 2 years, maybe it's been 2 years already, it really is coming from the Ascended Masters on my spiritual team. I work specifically with 3 of them. And so when I see that number, I know they're trying to get my attention, that they have something for me. And so I started doing automatic writing, right? And that automatic writing I only do with them. And so, yeah. So Lisa, it's kind of like sitting down and having a conversation with them, right? Asking them about it. Rob says, I've called my spiritual team and they have interesting ways of getting a point across. They can. Mine happen to have a pretty good sense of humor. And so it's like, oh, you guys are so funny, And a lot of times they deliver a message through a song, Years ago, when I was really good at multitasking and getting things done as quickly as possible, and that was, I think, maybe in my 30s, 40s, something like that. And when I would be like driving or something like that, and I would hear this tune in my head over and over and over, sometimes all day long. And it was a refrain, right? Slow down, you're moving too fast. You got to make the morning last, right? Kicking down the cobblestones. Whenever I heard that, and at first I didn't understand it, it's like, why am I hearing this song over and over and over again? Well, that was their nudge to me, is that you need to slow down. You're missing all the beauty around you, right? And so, yeah. Once I kind of got the meaning for that one for me, every time I heard it, it's like, oh yeah, okay, let's take it easy, right? So it's something that I had to learn. And Margaret saying, I talk to them all the time, but I don't always hear anything. Well, they're hearing you. They hear you. They see you, right? And so sometimes, Margaret, it sounds like you're clairaudient, right? So perhaps it's either you're missing it. Ask them, don't be so subtle. Please be a little bit more direct, Okay. So that way I don't miss it. That I'll recognize it without doubt. Right. And the other one is maybe it's just not time yet, because we're human. We want it. It's like going through the drive-through. You put your order in, and you go pull up to the next window to get your whatever it is you ordered, right? And so sometimes we want it rapid fire, and sometimes it's not like that, and it could be just in divine timing. I also know that when my mental mind is on something else more mundane, that's repetitive, is when I can hear them better. Either that or if I'm in meditation. But if I have my mental mind doing something else, doing dishes, vacuum cleaning, the mental mind is busy, and so I can that other part of me hears them more clearly. Yeah, because I'm clairaudient too. And Rob says it's telling you feel groovy. I used to think that about multitasking. I can't do that very well these days. So, all right. So, what else about the spiritual team? Okay, so when in those last months that my mom was here with us, from like August, September to when she passed away, when she walked on at the end of November, um, it was difficult on so many levels, right? And the last 2 weeks, 10 days, um, one of my nieces, the oldest granddaughter, my mom's oldest granddaughter, she literally moved in with us. Thank goodness. She's such a sweetheart. Um, it was difficult sometimes, and I was running on next to no sleep, right? And I was every morning. This was part of the ritual in the morning. Get up, take care, get check in on mom, run back upstairs, brush my teeth, do that kind of thing. And as I'm getting cleaned up really quickly, I'd be talking to my team. It's like, okay, what's the most important thing this morning in this next hour that I need to get done or need to know about? And many times it was maybe a word or a phrase. And one morning it was about my niece. They were telling me to ask her fiance to when that time comes when my mom was going to be taking her last breath, kind of thing. That when she contacted him, that he come get her because she lives an hour from here, and in a condition that her grandmother would have passed, right? And those two women, my mom and my niece, um, my mom was there when she was born, and Amber, oops, sorry about that, Am. My niece said that was her grandmother was her first best friend, right? And so it was that drive between here and her home, and so that was a very important thing that they wanted me to know, and to let Amber know about, and to have her make the arrangements when she called home, right? And so they helped me. Um, they helped me to move through my day so that I wasn't. How do we want to say this? That my energy that I was using that day was used in such a way that it was the best use of it, right? Because I didn't have a lot. And so, they helped me to do that, move through my day and my night. And so that's when everything was said and done, and my mom had walked on, and we were in the grief and mourning phase of it all. that's when I realized that my relationship and how I communicate with my team was slightly different. Slightly different. I realized how much they help me move through that and experience all of that, so that I could really take in everything that was the most important piece, rather than worrying about something or focusing on something that I had absolutely no control over. None, right? Those little things that just drive you nuts and angry, right? Yeah. The day that I was, I can't even tell you if it was a daytime or nighttime, but I had a chance to lie down for a little while. And I remember I was just closing my eyes and I could hear somebody talking to me, you know, and they were saying, they said my dad's Indian name, right? Um, Kabemsi Ben. Kabemsi is here. And he's here for you right now. He'll be here for your mom too, but right now he's here for you. And it felt like that hug, it felt like I'm here. And um that was huge. That was huge. Now, why he came through my team rather than coming directly to me, I don't know. But that was something, and it's probably because I wasn't understanding something he was showing me. But that was huge. And so, looking back at all of that is how my relationship and how I communicate with my team is different. It's different. It's a good different, but it is different. So I'm just wondering if you guys have ever noticed that in your own lives, that how your relationship and how you communicate with your team changes, right? Deanna says, when I was awakened during the night, I would offer quiet time during the day, requesting to sleep at night. Ah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, requesting to sleep at night. Yes. Yeah, and we can make those requests, there's times when, the information is either going by too fast and I ask them to slow it down. "Wait a minute, I didn't catch that piece. Can you bring that one back? I need to see that again." Or, um, like, if you're doing a lot of work in dream time, right, is to ask that, my physical body feels, refreshed and as if I've had 8 or more hours of sleep, and still do what you need to do, in, your soul during the evening, during the sleep time, dream time, but your physical body receives its rest and rejuvenating, restfulness, right? So we can ask that. Good for you, Deanna. And Margaret said, I see signs and I do know sometimes. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Sometimes it's, for me, Deanna, sometimes it's, I need clarity, if I'm seeing something multiple times and I'm not getting it, it's like, I don't understand. Help me to understand this. How else can you show this to me to help me to understand? Or, either use other tools, if you have the chance, right, is to use your card draws, right, to get some a further understanding of it. Do some dowsing around it, asking those yes no questions. Is this about that? You know, those kinds of things, just to get clarity. And it's kind of like having your own personal spiritual team dictionary, right? Or some sort of um, what is that in the back? Here goes my here goes my vocabulary thing. I used to know this stuff like that. In the back of a book, a glossary. That's it. Thank you. See, they were helping me. A glossary. Um, and it's very individual, right? There's some things that we might share across the board with our spiritual teams, but there's many more things that are specific only to us and to them. And so we have to kind of do our own glossary, right? Karen says, my team is a little funny as well. If I have a judgmental thought, my team has me stub a toe or even stumble. It tells me I need to rethink how I'm looking at stuff. Thankfully, I'm more of an observer than judge. Yeah, we have to learn those things, don't we? Yeah. So when I was realizing how much and what had shifted and changed with my communication with my team actually came during meditation time. Because, in December, January, February, um, when I started meditating again, where it was, I have a specific time when I go upstairs to do that. And I'm sitting in the dark, right? I wasn't, at the beginning, I was not asking questions. I wasn't looking for deeper meaning or clarity or anything like that. Um, what I was doing was I was just listening. That's all I was doing. I was just listening. If they wanted to offer me something, I would listen. A lot of times I was just sitting with them, you know, and I could feel how much they love me and care about me, and yeah, and so that's when I realized how my relationship with them had shifted. I I've always been aware of them and working with them, but it was always because I had a goal in mind. I always had an intention in mind, something that I was striving and reaching for. What's my next best step? Was my standard um, question to them, you know, and and it was good. It was good. But this one, the way we're together now is different. Is different. Um, when the day that they told me to imagine what it would be like if I believed that my soul was on the outside of me, and that what it would feel like, and they would have me imagine that in meditation, and then they had me actually standing in front of the mirror and saying it to myself, um, and offering information about it's a consciousness shift. It's the next consciousness shift, and that there are many times when I was with my mom in those last days that we were definitely soul to soul, right? And and so yeah, they're helping me to do that. So it made a difference. It makes a big difference. And I'm really curious about if you guys have noticed a shift after you've been through something that's life changing, um, or perhaps it's been something different for you, right? And how you relate. Interesting. And there's also something that some people, I used to teach something called soul clearing. That was, gosh, a long, no, 15 years ago, something like that. And with that, one of the things we would talk about is our spiritual team. And that there are times when we have to realign our spiritual team so that we're all working off the same page, right? And this is the um, definition that they gave to me, my team, is that there's times when we have a guide or a teacher, even an angel, that are coming in to help us with a certain, like a power animal, with a certain something that we're learning about, that life lesson, and they're here to help us with that. And we've done our due diligence. We've done our homework. We've done everything that we needed to do to get through that one, and we're on the other side of it. And we've learned a life lesson. We're applying what we've learned, which means that we're heading into the wisdom part of it, right? And they are no longer needed for that life lesson because we've achieved it. We've done it. And so many times what we can do is ask our spiritual team, we're asking the creator to help us to realign our spiritual team to make sure that we have the best and optimal for our highest good spiritual team, right? And so that those that have completed their time with us are released, and others, new ones, we've made space for them to come aboard our team, right? And that we're all working for our spiritual journey here, our earth walk here. That whatever it is that we're here to do, to accomplish, that we are all on the same page, and that they're assisting us, right? That they're not here to do the work for us, but they're here to assist us in the best way possible in our choices in the path that we've chosen to take. So, yeah, so that realignment of the spiritual team. And here's another one that made a whole lot of sense to me. That sometimes we are in such a crisis, and we're asking, we're crying out, we're beseeching for someone to come help us. And a lot of times it's because we're in a lot of pain, whether it's physical, emotional, or mental pain. And so, we're asking for anybody to come and help us, to help get us through this, to help me end it, right? Put a stop to it, whatever. And we've got a lot of emotion, a lot of energy, a lot of energy behind that request. And sometimes we have a spirit that loves us. Maybe it's I don't know, Aunt Dorothy. Maybe Aunt Dorothy passed away a long time ago, walked down a long time ago, and she loves us though. And so she wants to come and help us, right? And so she comes to help us, and all of a sudden she's on our team. But possibly Aunt Dorothy doesn't have a high enough vibration to assist us in our soul contract, right? And whatever it is that we're working with or on. And so it becomes it's not very smooth. So love Aunt Dorothy, but Aunt Dorothy may not be the best help out there. And so lovingly thanking her for coming to help, but you can be released now. Thank you so much. I appreciate your help. And now we're done with that. Right? Yeah. And so that made a lot of sense to me. And so the first time I did a realignment of my team, oh gosh, I want to say that was like 1999, something like that. Energetically, I could feel the shift. I could feel what they used to show me was like an amphitheater, that I was standing like down on behind a podium, and my team is sitting in the seats in front of me. And when I would do the realignment, there'd be a couple, one or two would get up and, smile and wave at me, and they would head up and walk out. And then pretty soon the doors would open and there'd be new members coming in and sit, taking a seat. And then I would make the request that we all work on in the same page, that we're all headed in the same direction. And we're working on my soul contract. right? And so sometimes I would see team members kind of shifting, moving from one seat to another. And that's the first time that I saw that. And it made sense to me. It made sense to me. Yeah. So I don't know if you've ever experienced anything like that or thought about anything like that, right? Um, that's that is something that I've used for quite a long time, actually, because we grow. We're meant to grow. We're meant to expand and grow. And our team is there to assist us all the way along the way. And we get assigned new members all the time, and others need to be released and said, thank you very much. I appreciate everything. And we can even party about it. We'll celebrate. Happy dancing in the kitchen kind of thing. Yeah. All right. I just want to check my notes quick to make sure I gave you everything that I wanted to tonight, and asking my team if there is anything else that. Oh, here's one. To be grounded. Get into a habit of grounding to Grandmother Earth. Yeah. And to remember to take those deep breaths throughout the day, because so many times, we get going on something, working on anything, and we end up shallow breathing. But to remember to take deep breaths, because it relaxes us. And when we're relaxed, we're more apt to hear them. And also that our teams are an aspect of us, right? Just like we're an aspect of the creator, they're an aspect of the creator, but they also carry with them a certain vibration, a certain frequency that we're on the same wavelength, right? Yeah. Okay. I think I got it. Oh, and also, if you feel that you are receiving lower vibrational information from your spiritual team, that means that they're not treating you well. What they're saying is mean or spiteful or anything like that. That's not a team member. Your team loves you. They have the highest respect for you. They cherish you. And if there's anything less than that, then that needs to go. And you can do the command. You can command them to leave in the name of the light, to leave now, right? You have every right to kick them out. Yep. And even call on your own team. Those that help you with protection is to escort whatever or whoever that is out, and to keep them out. Yeah, you can do that. All right, let's see. Jackie said, I went through a major life change that caused spirit to overload me and almost be too much all taking at once. I had to ask for help from a teacher to learn how to realign my team. Now they are much easier to understand and not so overwhelming. Right. Absolutely, Jackie. And so good for you to describe it that way. Because sometimes before I learned how to realign my team, it was like we were working like on several different things all at one time, and what direction are we going in? What direction am I going in? And yeah, it can be overwhelming. And once you align your team, it's smoother. It's less chaotic, really, and less overwhelming for us. Thank you for that, Jackie. That's good. Lisa said, I was taught how to interview them like a job interview. They would come in on a landing pad. I would list the criteria of being on my team. If they didn't agree, they would go. Well, that's interesting. That's kind of cool. Yeah. And here's another one that you can do. You know, there's a belief out there that we have three spiritual teachers, high teachers that have the highest vibration that are on our teams. And you can ask. You can ask to meet them, to know them, to what it's like when they're with you. What does it feel like when they're with you? So you can identify them, right? Yeah. Yeah. And that's how I met Seashat. Yeah. She's the wife of Toth. And I had asked. Was reading something, and I thought, oh, that's interesting. I'm going to ask. And so, and she introduced herself to me in a kind of a roundabout way. But we've been working together now for 20 years, something like that. Yeah. So, although, yeah, she's the one who helps me with the publishing world because she's known as Lady of the Library. Yeah, so this is good. I got to check the time. Okay. Way off topic. Okay. We're taking a hard right here, but I have to tell you something. This, I guess it's not so much off topic, but I've been remembering about self-care and not just talking about it and using the words, the catchwords, right? But actually doing it. And I've been looking for a nail spa place here in Toma that I fit in, that fits me. And so I've been to a couple different places and they were okay, but it just didn't feel quite right yet. Well, I was at a place last Friday. I think it was Thursday. And it felt good there. It did. And I think I even said out loud, because I was asking my team to help me with it, right? And so we found this place, and it's not that far from the house. And yeah. And so we were doing a traditional nail polish, right? Just a manicure, just a traditional one. I didn't want the gel. And so there's certain nail polishes that are used for the traditional, not gel nail polish. And so picking out a color is hard, especially when you're going through a recalibration, because I can talk about being overwhelmed. Too many options. And so I'm standing there and I think, well, should I go with pink? I always do pink or mauve or something, and it's not purple, do that a lot too. And I'm standing there, and so I'm talking to my team. I said, I'm looking for a color. What color could really light me up, right? Would make me feel like really happy. And what does that feel like? And so they were saying blue. Pick out a blue. You love blue. I've never had blue nail polish ever. Ever. I wear a lot of blue, but I never had blue nail polish. But this is the nail polish that I found. I don't know how the color is on the screen, but it's kind of like I don't know, it's not even a royal blue. It's more like a metallic blue. And once I picked it out and we got to the part of putting it on, right? I realized I'd seen this blue in a dream. That the star beans that were helping me had this color blue. They showed me that color blue that was them. I was like, oh my God. Okay, this is good. So this is going to be my color for this year, I think. I won't have it on my fingernails all the time, but it is a fun way to be able to identify them. But hey, I kind of like it. So, and it does, it makes me smile, and it makes me feel good. So it's got to be good, right? I know. Deanna says, blue hearts. Yes, exactly. She says, I really like that. Me too. Me too. I do like pink. I do. Blue is definitely my favorite color. But pinks and reds and that kind of thing are fine too. But I've never worn blue nail polish before. But it looks good and I like it. All right. So I got just a few more minutes, and I want to I wanted to share with you about, and I think I did this last week too. I am making some decisions about Star Nations. It's been 4 months, right? Let's see, November, December, January, February. Wait, December, January, February, March, April. 5 months. It'll be 5 months soon. That mom has walked on and life has changed here. And Paul, with Paul being retired, um, yeah, lots going on. But there, I'm taking my time in making decisions about Star Nations. I'm not sure exactly how we're going to deliver things and when we're going to deliver. It's all kind of up in the air a little bit. But I have two classes that had been rescheduled from 2019 and 2020, one because of COVID and the other one because of my mom and COVID. And so these two classes have been rescheduled to this coming June. And they're both going to be in-person classes here at Star Nations in Toma. And the first one is on June 12th. The drum making workshop that was scheduled for 2019 and then moved to 2020 and then moved to 2021. We're finally going to do it. Yeah, June 12th. It's a Saturday. And we're going to be making 15-inch drums, either elk or buffalo. And it's going to be a small class. I want to make sure that I am completely with the students. Okay. So doing 12 or 14 people I don't think would be feasible for me, but we can do 6. And so we have a couple of seats open still. And so if you're interested in making your own hand drum, a sacred drum, come to Toma and come to me and Star Nations Academy, and we'll have your drum made through in ceremony, and you'll know what it's like to be a sacred drum maker. Yeah. So that's coming up June 12th. And the second one is, okay, so we're going to hide that one. The second class is this one, the Journey of Remembering. I tried to teach this one by online, but my mom just really needed me a lot. And so we ended up postponing and rescheduling this one. And so I decided to do this one in person and open it up for other students, okay, in additional to the people that were studying with me online. And so the Journey of Remembering, we're going to do from Thursday, June 17th through Sunday, June 20th. It's 4 days, but it is all about remembering how to create from your heart, from the unified field. And the first thing that you will create is your organic Merkaba. And so this is all based on the teachings of Drenville Melchizedek. I was one of his teachers for Awakening Illuminated Heart, and that's what this class is based on. And so we'll be talking about sacred geometry and the tiny space of your heart. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And so this class will be, everything is online at the website. It's all up. Registration is open. And so if you're looking for a class that remembering your joy, it really is. It's remembering your joy. Okay, and how to create with joy. And so I am going to, let's see, and get you the link. Okay, here we go. I'm going to put it in the comments so that we have it on record. So if you're interested, it's going to be really easy for you to just click link. There we go. There's that. That's the Academy. And the other one is, when I was preparing for this show, for this information, I was thinking about how can I be helpful, right? If you're looking for information. And, with the magazine, the writers for the magazine, they're all spiritual teachers. And we have written about our spiritual teams in many different ways. And so using our magazine as an archive, literally the past issues for a lot of information, I thought it'd be helpful maybe if I showed you the different, or the ones that I picked out for you anyway, because there's a lot of them. I have several of the past issues that are available still through our partners at MagCloud. And the digital is $2.99. And if you want the print magazine, those are different prices, usually not more than $20. The print is we were very vigilant at keeping the page numbers at a certain number so that the magazines were at $20 about. And so the cost of print on demand kind of fluctuates a little bit. But anyway, I found 5 different past issues of the magazine that I thought would be helpful when it comes to our spiritual teams and working with them. And so here's this link and the 5 different magazines. And they range from 2016, 2018, 2019, and 2020. So you can see that we have some history there, right? So I have those listed for you in the comments. Easy enough for you guys to be able to get to. And oh my goodness, I thought, is the link there? No, it didn't. Rats. All right, I'll put the link. I thought I grabbed that too, but I didn't. So in the event that you want to have more information or would like to do a little reading around it, those are available too. Okay. All right. So I love talking and sharing about our spiritual team. They're our best friends. Some of them on our spiritual teams have known us, known our soul since its inception. They know every single past life experience we've had. They've been with us through every single one of them. They are our oldest and dearest friends. They love us so much. They're part of our soul group, right? And so working with your spiritual team is literally working and being in the frequency of love because they love us so much. And so what I wish for you is a good relationship with your spiritual team. Get to know them, sit and talk with them, ask them anything and everything. Okay. All right. So with that, enjoy the rest of your Tuesday evening, and we'll see you back here next week for Communications from Home, where I'll have my guest, Julie Hedges, with me, and we are going to be winding up the series of the recalibration journey with moon astrology and astrology. So join us next week for Julie Hedges and Communications at Home as my guest. All right. So Bama Mina, that's Potawatomi for until we see each other again. I love you guys.